All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And in today's episode, Lou finally gets to have his moment with Josh Allen. But first, we will start with what's on your mind. We will get into an overrated, underrated segment. We'll talk about a big Mickey Mantle sale. We've got play of the week. But first, as always, we'll start with what's on your mind. Now, we would normally have a guest, right? We talked about this week one a few weeks ago. Hey, we're going to have guests on here. We're going to talk about that. Unfortunately, our second guest had to cancel last minute.
Makes a lot of sense.
But we are working on that, and we will have them in the future. I promise you. So stay tuned. We'll have those. We'll have some more guests in the future. But Lou, we'll start with you. What's on your mind?
Okay, number one, if you're seeing this on YouTube right now, you're probably saying to yourself, what's with the new layout? What are they doing? Jay's trying something new. We're really excited about it. It should look pretty cool. I can't see it right this second, but I'm assuming when you see it, it looks really cool. So I hope you're enjoying it. And if you are, in the comments below, say, I love you, Jay. Just make sure you do that. First thing on my mind, excellent weekend of football. Obviously, we're going to get into it a lot more, but the mystification of Josh Allen is over. The mystification of the Buffalo Bills is over. They are a team that plays in Buffalo, New York in January that is built to play on turf in a dome in January. So they are finished. Their quarterback's finished. I'm really excited for Joe Burrow. I'm really excited for the NFC Championship game. I think I can't remember what I said, but I thought I said the Bucs were going to go. That was an L. I have the 49ers in a Super Bowl future. I think they're going to lose also. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles this weekend, but we'll get into it more, I'm sure. And that's it for me.
Ty, what about you?
What about me? I tweaked my foot playing basketball this morning. Really not thrilled about it. I kind of pressed it playing 3 days in a row. It wasn't an ankle sprain. I kind of prefer an ankle sprain. It's like a weird tendon in the foot that I'm trying to figure out.
You got the Mahomes?
Yeah, it might be a little Mahomes-esque, but I'll battle through. Another thing that's on my mind is the joy that I get from watching the Premier League. This past weekend was an amazing, amazing game. Match, as some might call it, between Manchester United and Arsenal.
Who won?
Arsenal won 3-2 in the 90th minute, essentially. I think they scored in the 89th. Two academy players just are leading the way with them. But one kid in particular, Bukayo Saka, is really –
Arsenal?
Yeah, he's at Arsenal. People know him through England. At the Euros about 2 years back, he was put in that position. He missed the spot kick for them to lose in the finals. Took a lot of kind of slander and hate online, and kid is just special. Now, as a Manchester United fan, it feels good. We got a manager. It's been a couple brutal years, but Arsenal's definitely a couple years ahead, and it was just a fun match. I like waking up early on the weekends and watching those games. So I'm really looking for a rookie medal of Bukayo Saka. That's definitely something that is on my mind.
Ty, as it stands here right now, who's going to win the EPL?
Arsenal. Now we're halfway through. They've got 50 points. They're the betting favorite. I think they're like minus 175.
Is that who you see them winning? Is that who you see winning?
That's who I see winning. They got a lead over City right now. It's going to be a grind, though. It's between Arsenal and City. It's a marathon. What's very unique about Premier League is if you equate it to the NFL, which team had the most wins in the NFL this year?
Probably the Niners, right? Niners or Chiefs?
Eagles.
Or Eagles, yeah, Eagles. I was thinking Eagles.
So, the Eagles would win a trophy for that, right? They play a season. And then, it's almost like next year's playoffs would be happening this year's playoffs would be happening during next year's regular season. So you can kind of compete for multiple things, and it kind of removes this one game. It's just go out and whoever wins goes forth for just their average season. So it really is a marathon, and every game matters, which makes it really fun. Arsenal's also just been down bad for quite some time now. They took the manager, Pep Guardiola's understudy at Manchester City for a couple of years, moved over to Arsenal. He's now in his third full season, I believe. And they just play really fun brand of football. So that was a really fun match this weekend that definitely has a lot of people buzzing. So because City,
I was going to say, while we're on this topic, right? You're the Card Talk soccer expert here. What's Lou in the chat, and I don't think I saw an answer this weekend, is Holland going to break 40 goals?
He has 24.
He's 25 right now. I'm looking at it right now.
25 halfway through. I think
That's
there's
nuts.
a strong chance he breaks.
That's
40
really
goals.
crazy.
Can you do an NFL comparison for that? Like, is that like having 2,000 yards rushing?
He's having Randy Moss comes to the Patriots and him and Brady are just unstoppable. That's in football that season. He's having Vic when he came to the Eagles and went MVP. You know, just like so. Oh my goodness, it's unstoppable right now. What was that Vic and Deshaun Jackson? But Randy Moss and Brady, was just like you just waited for the bomb. No matter what, they were good for a bomb.
Eventually, it's coming. Yeah, like him. Eventually, the goal's coming. Eventually, another one's coming.
You know, like you could take all week and try and stop it.
Yeah,
and you give up one half a step, and Randy Moss was good for 65.
Yeah, you just hope you can contain it.
Yeah,
you just hope it's 1, not 3.
Exactly. That's what's going on right now, in my opinion.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's sweet. I just hate City, and Arsenal is a little bit more of a, I don't know, wholesome. Obviously, City, you got to respect it and what have you, but they were bought. A lot of money comes in. So they've taken a lot of hate, but, man, they have great players as well.
Oh, what's on my mind?
That's what's on my mind.
So what's on my mind today? I think, Lou, you put it in the chat this weekend. I thought it was a good point. I think it was you that put it. Was it about, like, the weekend's games weren't very good?
Yeah. Well, Tyler was talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, one of you guys dropped that in chat this weekend, and I think we talked about it a few weeks ago when we gave our picks for, like, the NFL postseason. We've just been spoiled these last couple of years, right? We're going to get into some more of the NFL chatter here in a second, but there's just, I mean, the NFL postseason is so much fun, right? Even though the games weren't super, super crazy, like they weren't the most exciting games of all time, it's just, I think what's fun is just the finite outcome of these playoffs and like every game, like just the outcome it has on somebody's career, right? Like Dak Prescott, like there was a comparison on Twitter on like Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. And it's like both won one divisional round game. They're both 0-3 in the second round. Like, and it just talks about it. And it's like only one guy wins. And there's so many guys. We're going to have a conversation here in a second about over under, who sells well, or who's high, who's low, and some of the QB contenders. We did this with Prism a few weeks ago where we put it out and you guys commented about, hey, this is crazy. This guy sells for this or that. Like, we're going to get into that. But it's like only one guy wins. Like, Lou's going to have his moment on Josh Allen. Justin Herbert lost. Burrow or Mahomes is going home this weekend. One of them's not playing for the Super Bowl. And it's like, that is what makes this so much fun is like, there's 32 teams. Your careers, most of these guys' careers, what, 8 years, 10 years? Like, you hope you get that long. Brady's played for 23, 24. That's the exception. 25, whatever it is. But it's like, that's the exception. Most of these guys, like, you don't get many shots to do this. Well, when we have a conversation about Josh Allen and we talk about Cam Newton, it's like Cam Newton went to a Super Bowl. Like, he had
an MVP,
season,
one Rookie of the Year, multiple time All-Pro.
Cam Newton stuff isn't worth anything. And it's like, these games matter so much in life and in like their worlds, but in cards especially, it's like you don't lose, you don't produce. Your stuff goes towards zero faster than it goes up, and it's just such an interesting thing. And I think that's what makes this so fun is Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, or Joe Burrow. One of those four quarterbacks is going to win a Super Bowl, right? I posted this on my story. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow, that adds somebody else in the same conversation. That's a young QB that would have a ring like Mahomes. They're not as talented as Mahomes. Mahomes is the guy, right? Mahomes wins. It's crazy, right? High ankle sprain. Even if he plays, it would be amazing. But if he wins a Super Bowl, that's 2 rings. He's likely winning the MVP this year. That's 2 MVPs and likely a second Super Bowl MVP. That's a lot for Patrick Mahomes in 5 years in the NFL. I saw a stat the other day that said Patrick Mahomes has been a starter in the league for like 5 years, I think. Every playoff game Patrick Mahomes has played, he's been the home team every single time. He's gone to the AFC title game every year he started. Like, Patrick Mahomes' career is on a different path than most. Winning a Super Bowl right now would just be, I mean, it's the closest thing we've seen to Brady since Brady, if he were to win. And then Brock Purdy, right? 2022 Wax, we talked about this early on after the draft. You're going to need somebody to carry it. Malik Willis got benched for Joshua R. Dobbs or R. Joshua Dobbs. Like, Malik Willis isn't clearly the answer. Kenny Pickett's okay. Like, we'll see if he progresses. He could be good. There's not a lot of
Kenny
QBs.
guy.
There's not a lot of
So
QBs.
not a Kenny guy?
I think Kenny could be okay, but like, there's not a lot of QBs. You got Walker, you got the Buckeye receivers, you got some guys. Like, there's players, but yeah, I just there's the storylines that play out on each of these different paths. Man, I wouldn't trade like
cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. So
yeah, it's like, as three people who very much care about sports, very much care about the NFL, and what we've been talking about for the last few years is all these young guys. It's like eventually the rubber meets the road. We talked about it with Herbert a couple weeks ago about how eventually you got to win these games or you're going to be who you are. Josh Allen's the exact same way. We compared him to Cam Newton. You can compare him to 5 other guys from the last 20 years. So the best part about all of it is getting answers, as we've always said, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes and breaks a lot of these careers, right? Like Rodgers. Imagine if Rodgers didn't win that Super Bowl. They never won. He's got the same career as Cam Newton.
He would have lost to the Jets.
I mean, he didn't even have Rookie of the Year, right? So it's like you look at this and you're like, man, it just everything. It's so cool, and that's what I enjoy about it. So
yeah, I'm with you, bro.
I got a name that's been just bouncing around in my head since you kind of kicked that whole thing off, right? Which is Matthew Stafford.
I talked about this last time. We had a conversation post Super Bowl about if Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. I guess it's so much of a what have you really, really done for me lately, like league and moment, but for a guy that's thrown for every yard in the book plus some, then goes to LA first year, links up with McVay. They're like the golden team, goes on, wins an epic Super Bowl at home, blah, blah, blah. Man, how quickly 12 months can almost like have people just changing the tune or forgetting about things. I don't know what the prices are as we're going to do this over under. I just was like, I wonder where Stafford fits in all this. In a world where
should look it up. Your mind will be blown. This is the conversation I had post Stafford winning a Super Bowl, because Matt Stafford exquisite autos do less than $2,000, and a Justin Herbert National Treasures PSA 9 or 10, whatever, just sold on PWCC for like, what was it, Jay? 48,000. What was the Herbert NT? Slapsocks posted the graphic about it. It showed the Burrow 101 laundry tag, and it showed the Herbert NT patch auto. And the Herbert did like 48, 58, 68, whatever it was, thousands of dollars. You can buy You can buy Matt Stafford's best card. What was it, Lou?
The Herbert out of 99, 95, 4-color patch did $90K, and then the laundry tag PSA 9 for Burrow did $84K.
$90,000 for a guy that has never been to an AFC title, and Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl ring and is likely going to finish top 10 in his career in passing yards, maybe top 5. Right?
He'll be close to top 10. I don't think he's going to make top 10.
You don't think so?
No, he's 5,000 yards down right now.
That's one season.
Yeah.
Is he going to play 2 more full seasons?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. I just, what even just that convo crystallizes just in a moment for me, which I think is something that's always been on our mind in this podcast. And what makes me excited about having the guests on even is there's really collecting and then there's gambling.
Yeah, that's 1,000% what it is.
And that's like,
because the people that are buying those cards can stomach those losses.
Correct. And they are gambling on the future and upside. Because if you really lay it down and put it on wax, Justin Herbert having a Matthew Stafford-like career is like
awesome. Yep.
Awesome.
The dream.
And that's just crazy in the combos of us being like Justin Herbert's mid. Okay, well, where's Stafford compared to Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
Oh, he sucks. Oh, but what if Herbert turned out to be Stafford? You'd be pumped as a fan of a franchise.
But think about it. You're hoping he becomes Mahomes, right? That's what you're hoping for. Mahomes. You're hoping Mahomes becomes Brady. You're hoping most of these guys now become Justin Herbert or become Patrick Mahomes. What if Mahomes loses this weekend? He would have had multiple AFC title losses. He's two? He would be 2-3 in AFC titles, right? He would have gone to 2 Super Bowls and only won 1, right? Like I'm not trying to diss Patrick Mahomes. That's a great career. His stuff sells really well. You're hoping Justin Herbert has that kind of career, anywhere near that kind of career.
Yeah, I think it's important to like zoom out when you're thinking about all these guys, and it's like, all right, what has Josh Allen really completed so far in his career? What has Patrick Mahomes? Like, compare those two guys, their 2 accomplishments, and then look at the prices of their 2 cards, and then you're going to make a lot of the decisions become like a lot more clear at that point, at least to me.
Yeah,
and they always have.
This, like Ty said, though, this is the cards, right? There's a hobby where you guys, you got the Elijah Moore 101. You got to take a picture with him. Like, there's a story behind it. There's a card. They're tangible, physical assets. We've collected these since we're a kid. You can go in
different
a card
conversation
store.
From the pricing stuff.
Yeah, you can go in a card store, rip a box with your dad, go through value boxes. Like, that's a whole different world than NT Burrow, NT Mahomes, Mahomes cracked ice, Mahomes Prism Gold. Like, those are different. I posted mine. I have a Trevor Lawrence Prism Gold PSA 10 or PSA 85. I have a lot of money in that card. Like, I understand the ramifications of what that card could be, right? I mean, Josh Allen did $200,000. I'm hoping that card could become that one day. It may not. It may go to $500, right? Like, what's a Cam Newton Prism Gold sell for? What's a Stafford Prism Golds? Like, you compare them, they're definitely different conversations. So I understand that, but it's definitely a different part of sports cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just looked on eBay real quick. Currently the highest selling National Treasures Matthew Stafford card was a raw out of 25 gold rookie patch auto, sold for $2,000 on December 4th.
Yeah, I have an exquisite patch auto. Like I said, I think it's up on eBay for $2,000 or best offer, and I think the highest offer I've ever gotten on it's $1,300.
Crazy.
So
crazy, he was right. There's a really cool, just before we go off of that on the hobby thing, and just trying to highlight some more things that I see that I love, is there's a video, and I saw David Grzybowski tweeted it, of Jeff Carter, who plays on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I believe he was a beloved Flyer, was just ripping packs with his kid last night, and they were just having a blast. The kid was losing it that he found a card of his pops, and like, that stuff is so cool and fun. I think a beautiful thing about the hobby, and has nothing to do with price tags or dollars or anything like that.
Did I send you guys the Joey Logano video?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter where he's like signing his cards.
Yeah, and he put a special little like inscription on him. Like, the story of, if I saw, I think I texted in one of my group chats. I was like, I don't even like NASCAR, but this is the kind of car that I would want to get because of the story. You see the post.
Yeah,
like, I hope somebody gets it, and then you get it. You know, like, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I know our buddy Rips Cards did that with Rips Cards did that with the Zion Next Day auto. Panini posted a photo with Zion's Next Day. Next Day is a really popular on-card rookie auto. Most of them come out of Donruss. Panini does a good job with them. They sell really, really well. Like, you can look up some of the bigger names from those sets. They're pretty expensive. But he found the exact one. Like, there's a Panini photo with Zion when Zion was a big deal, and he's holding that card, and he went out and found the exact one. It's just kind of cool, right? Those expensive or those like moments in time. But while we're on this conversation, before we get into over-under, for the last couple years, I have definitely giggled and chuckled when Lou has made backhanded comments about Josh Allen and the Bills. And this weekend, the Bills got beat at home. 2 years ago, the Bills lost in the AFC title game, and they changed the overtime rules because of that game, because it was decided on a coin flip, right?
Countless calls from the refs in the last year and a half in games. It happens every single week.
So since then, they lost. What was it, Lou? A road divisional game?
They lost the AFC Championship game on the road.
Yep.
They lost a road divisional game last year. This year, they lost a home divisional game.
So 2 years ago, they changed the rule, and here we are all these years later, losing by 17 points at home.
An ass kicking. It was an ass kicking.
So Lou, we'll let you get into it. What is on your mind? What would you like to say to the world about the Buffalo Bills?
The whole thing, I don't want to get in trouble again because people got really mad about Justin Herbert, so I'm like scared to make any comments. But like, it's always been the same thing. He's a turnover machine. Like, he leads the league in turnovers in the last 5 years. He can't. If he doesn't, Since he's been in the league, he is the league leader in turnovers. He fumbles the ball like crazy. He just throws the ball up. He did it on Sunday. At the end of the game, they were still in the game, and he just threw the ball for no reason and threw an interception, and the game was over. It's how he's always been. When he had Daboll, obviously, I think Daboll was an offensive genius, and they were scheming things up, and it was working a lot better. Once you take that away, you see how Diggs reacted. Diggs has been quiet as a mouse ever since he got there. Out of nowhere in this playoff run, he started to get more upset, and it's not up to the standard. The coaches, he's talking to the coaches now. Like, it's just very strange to me. And in general, with the Josh Allen stuff, I think it's a lot like Herbert, where everyone was told that those two guys were the guys that were going to be the big stars of the league going forward. And then any kind of negative conversation that goes their way gets shut off because they throw a lot of touchdowns, they throw for a lot of yards, and they're really cool, so everyone likes them. I've never understood it. I still don't think Josh Allen is very good. I have no fear of that guy. I had no fear of him all season long. They were clearly a flawed team. And next year, they're going to come back again. They're going to add one or two guys. They're going to add a defensive lineman. They're going to get a good running back. They'll try to sign Saquon or something like that. And then they'll be the Super Bowl favorites again. And then they'll lose in the first or second round again. That's just how it's going to be because Josh Allen is not good enough, and he never has been good enough.
Ty, any thoughts on that?
I've always been I've been on the side of I think he's a real legit and strong quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
But I can't deny just after this weekend, and I think Lou's had a point. When I saw that 5 years number turnovers, I was like, that.
Yeah, I saw Derek Carr on that list, but you didn't see that if you're a Jets fan.
Yeah, so the list they're talking about, right? It's most turnovers in the last 5 years. The top two are tied at 80. It's Josh Allen and Jared Goff. At 79, you have Matt Ryan. At 78, you have Derek Carr.
He's not there.
Also tied with Baker Mayfield. Kirk Cousins, everybody's favorite, 70. Carson Wentz has 68, tied with Sam Darnold, and Dak Prescott has 66. That is the top 10. There's not many good names on that list.
Yeah, and I also, real quick on the Daboll thing, I think people are saying that's like a cop-out to say it's Daboll. Josh Allen, before coming into this year, Daniel Jones was leading the league in interceptions and turnovers in his career in that time span. He brings in Daboll, his turnovers go down dramatically. Daboll leaves Josh Allen, his turnovers go back up again. Those two things connect to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think the argument is ask 25 teams in the NFL if they would rather have Josh Allen or their quarterback.
They take him.
25 teams.
100%.
27 teams. There's not 30, there's 32. 27 teams would tell you they would rather have Josh Allen than whoever they currently have. So 100%. Talent-wise, I have a hard time arguing that Josh Allen is not one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL.
You won't catch me saying that.
It's not that he's not talented, but I look at it and I'm also like, the Chiefs lost their best offensive weapon. Their number one offensive weapon left to go to play with Tua in the Dolphins, and they were the number one seed in the AFC without him. Part of that offensive coordinator. They lost Mike Kafka. He went to New York. We've seen
who's the quarterback coach,
right? Yeah, it was quarterback's coach. Yeah, not up seed. That's enemy, enemy. But they're still the number one seed. Like, it just they add talent every year, and it's like Mahomes loses talent. It's interesting.
And part of that is team building. Sorry, Ty. Part of that is team building where the Chiefs were like, okay, we need to get better at power running, and they committed to the run. They drafted Pacheco. They bring in McKinnon. They commit to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all those guys, like, right? The Bills got stuck in this trap where they thought they were one or two players away, and they thought they could just become this fast team, and they would beat everybody, and they were wrong about that. So that part's not on Josh, but I just wanted to say that also.
Yeah. And again, I think that's true about like team building and stuff like that. That doesn't have anything to do with Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen can't control all of that. Like,
it's not his fault they don't have a running game.
Yep. Yeah, Lou, I don't think your sentiment is wrong, though, about next year they're going to add some pieces. I mean, they were probably out. Jay, I would love to know this. I would imagine they were top 2, maybe top 3 in Super Bowl pick.
They had the highest by I saw MGM's, one of the guys from MGM say they had the highest taker percentage.
I thought it would be pretty close.
Yeah, Vegas loves when Buffalo loses.
Interesting. Wow.
Overrated. Please keep that in mind in the future. Stop overcommitting to Josh Allen. He will disappoint you.
All right, so Lou just hit us with the overrated, so I think it's a perfect time to get into it. Let's do overrated or underrated. So this is going to be with Contenders autos. Jay, PSA 10, correct? PSA 10 Contenders rookie ticket autos of the same guys we did with Prism, where it's basically the top 7 QBs in the league. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is on this list. He only has one PSA 10, so we'll talk about Trevor Lawrence's PSA 9s. But for the sake of this conversation, I want to get your guys' opinions on overrated or overpriced or underpriced on these cards and what they currently do. So Jay, likely, I think Jay said this is the last 3 of these cards sales. So we try to take the average where we could. All right, Jay, is it in the chat? Okay, here we go. All right. While we're on the conversation of Josh Allen, we'll start with Josh Allen. $5,000 for a PSA 10. Ty, overpriced or underpriced?
I'm going to go with fairly priced.
That's not the game.
Lou, what do you think?
That's not the game. That's overpriced. Also, I would say we should preface all of it with it's all relative. The prices are what the prices are.
Yeah.
Everything's really expensive, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's hard because I think at that number, I'm looking at, just in the subset of things, I think that it's fairly, I actually believe Josh Allen is fairly priced.
Yeah. So real quick, let's do this before we get into these, because I think this will help give some context to the listeners about where Tyler is getting some of these from. Because I think if you rank these in order from most expensive to least expensive, it probably fits with who we would rank as the top quarterbacks in the league. The number 1 on this list is $30,000 for a Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 Contenders from 2017. Joe Burrow is $6,000. Josh Allen is $5,000. Justin Herbert is $4,800.
What?
Trevor Lawrence is $600, but is a pop 1.
6,000.
6,000, sorry, 6,000, but it's a pop 1. Lamar Jackson's $2,325, and Jalen Hurts is about $2,550. So Josh Allen, I would say that's a little aggressive. I think there's more of a discrepancy between Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. I would love to know the pop. I think pop plays a factor in some of this. Like if Joe Burrow has 1,000 PSA 10s and Josh Allen has 200, I think the argument is closer. But if they're all things are equal, to me, the discrepancy between Mahomes and Burrow is substantial, but not between Allen and Burrow. So I'm a little off there. So I would say if I'm saying overpriced or underpriced, I would say at that price it's too high. I would say it's overpriced.
Where did this 6K come from? I'm looking at the raw ones and it's
for who? Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Probably just because it's a pop 1.
I guess
a lot of those
raws are doing. I see a raw one doing 460.
Yeah, they were doing about $500 during the season, I think, was when I saw him last.
Okay.
I guess my logic on Josh Allen at that number, fairly priced, is I think he's shown a lot more than most. I think he is a major hurdle to get over. And I think that
getting better is that hurdle.
Minimizing turnovers to me is probably that hurdle.
Thank you, Ty.
But I don't know how much of room there is to go on the expectation of Super Bowl has been there for a couple of years, which kind of puts you in this spot you haven't done it. And then I'll allude that to some context in how I'm thinking about Lamar and Burrow, to be honest.
All right. So you just brought up Lamar. Lamar, $2,325. Overpriced or underpriced?
I would consider that overpriced.
Lou, you're shaking your head. Why?
He's an MVP.
I think we've seen Lamar Jackson's best football.
And we haven't seen Josh Allen's best football?
I don't believe so. I think you've got a running quarterback that is not the greatest passing threat, that is now coming off of a knee injury, and the league has had a lot of time to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I would say they've had a lot of time to figure out Josh as well in that same time span, but your point stands. That's wildly underpriced to me by comparison.
And all of these teams have had a lot of time to figure out Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes has been a starter in the league just as many years, right? And he still seems to do it. So yeah, on Lamar, it's tough. Like I think Lamar is going to go somewhere else, and I think hype will build around Lamar when he goes somewhere else. Yeah. He's not going to be back in Baltimore. I don't believe so. I think he's going to go somewhere else. But while I do believe hype will build around him, I don't disagree with Ty. It's a running quarterback coming off of a knee injury with an MVP. If he stays in the AFC, I'm not expecting Lamar Jackson to beat out Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. Like I'm just not. I'm not picking him to beat those teams. So I'm going to go with Overpriced in this situation. I just don't know how much upside you have at $2,000 for a guy who, again, running quarterback with a knee injury who's not Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. Cam Newton was built better than Lamar Jackson and did all those things. And I can't imagine his PSA 10 Contenders rookie auto just 23-25.
Probably not. It's fair. So, it's fair takes.
Patrick Mahomes, $30,000. So the only real comparison on something like this is probably Brady. I don't even know if Brady has many PSA 10 contenders, if any. I know he's got some bigger, higher graded stuff.
That's six figures, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, a BGS. I think the last BGS 9. Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it did around $48,000 to $50,000 for a BGS 9. So.
Oh my God, Jay.
So Jay just dropped a little stat in there. Cam Newton, PSA 10 contenders, rookie ticket auto, is $296 by comparison.
I would also say you know what? Never mind. I'll keep it in the chamber. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So Patrick Mahomes, $30,000 PSA 10, overrated or overpriced or underpriced?
I think underpriced.
So you're because I think when you say fair to assume this, when you say overpriced or underpriced, part of what you're deciding in this is you're betting on their future. This is
I'm betting on upside.
Yeah, you're betting on upside. Yeah, I would agree with that argument.
Because obviously $30,000 is a crazy amount of money.
Yep. I'm in agreement with you.
Odds are Mahomes has another Super Bowl in him. If it's not this year, it'll be in the next 3 years. That just seems like a good bet to me. He's got Andy Reid as his coach. He's the best quarterback in the league.
I would imagine that the over-under on Mahomes' Super Bowls before he retires is probably closer to, in Vegas odds, 2.2, like it's
2.5 more Super Bowls in his career. That's a dead over. I would say it's like at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, in his career, right? So if you're betting on that, you're betting on that card being over. So I'm going underpriced.
Would you set the over-under on his Super Bowls at 4 or 5?
Total appearances, career, or more like how many he goes, like how many he wins the rest of his time.
He's got 1 or 2 in the bag. You said?
Oh, he lost to Brady,
and he beat the Niners.
2 appearances.
Yeah, beat the Niners and lost to Brady.
He's got 2 appearances. Yeah, 4 or 5 appearances. 4
wins.
Yeah.
Top 5 quarterback all time on his current trajectory. Yeah. I mean, he wins 4 Super Bowls. I mean, how many other quarterbacks have 4 Super Bowl rings?
Yeah, it's a big jump from 1, but
Jay, I think going to win 4 minimum is a little bit aggressive take, but I mean,
I respect it.
And then win 3 Super Bowls to get to your minimum, but
it's really funny when you say it like that. He is much better than everyone else, Jay. That's right.
Although he might. Joey Brrrr.
It's possible Joey Brrrr.
Nice. All right. So let's
sneak in there.
Let's get to the next one. Joe Burrow, $6,000.
Underpriced.
I think so too.
Underpriced.
Joe Burrow has a lot of the things going for him on the field and off of the field. He is very well liked. He's probably the most liked player in the NFL off of the field.
Can I make a statement? Trust tree, like this is just the boys talking. Joe Burrow is like the coolest dude in the world. Big time man crush on Joe Burrow. He's awesome.
I'm just saying, like, he is so well liked off of the field, and they're really good on the field. That I said this when we picked these teams, when we picked the Super Bowls, that the Bengals are very well balanced. They had won so many games in a row. They were clicking at the right time. They would have beat the brakes off of the Bills in that DeMar Hamlin game. Like, They're really good. And Joe Burrow's the coolest fucking dude in the world.
The coolest. The coolest.
I'm betting on Burrow to win Super Bowls. Like, he's already been to one. I think they're going to win this weekend. I'm still picking them to win. I don't think Mahomes is going to be 100%. I realize Mahomes at 50% is better than everybody in the league outside of Joe Burrow, basically.
He's not at 50%, though.
Yeah, I mean, high ankle sprain. I'm picking the Bengals to win. I'm picking the Bengals to go back to the Super Bowl, and I think they can get it done. So, yeah, I'm going under on that.
I'm in agreement. But that's also the classic. The three of us are like way too in the moment right now. So if they lose this week, then
Joe Burrow stinks. All right, everybody's favorite topic of Card Talk to start 2023. Justin Herbert, $4,800. Lou.
It's overpriced, guys. Like, let's call it what it is. I don't think we need to put that much explanation into it. He hasn't done anything. He threw for a lot of yards the first 3 years of his career. Everyone will tell you that he's thrown for the most yards of anyone in the first 3 years of his career. That's really exciting. Misses a lot of throws, a lot of big throws, and a lot of big moments. Has a really dopey head coach that can get solved.
Lou,
I would say
like,
this.
It sounds like to me you think a lot. Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. You would compare Justin Herbert to Aaron Judge.
No.
You said like, yeah, he's through for a bunch of careers. Like,
no, Herbert's a good guy. I don't know anything. I mean, we don't have to get into it, but you know,
I just meant you're like accomplishments that mean nothing outside of winning a World Series. Like he had the 7th most home runs of all time, or whatever.
He's 3 years into his career, and again, we've talked about this ad nauseum. People compare him and Allen to Mahomes, and it's just not in the same area code. And that price reflects that. I think it's overpriced as of right now.
Yeah,
he's one of these guys. I would say like, oh, you want to look into it. You want to think about him as a guy you could buy in the future, but his cards are so overpriced. In my opinion, it's hard.
Yeah, they would have to go down a lot.
Yeah, he's got to get in the Lamar range to me.
Yeah. So on that topic, Jalen Hurts is $2,550. Will likely finish second in MVP voting. I would think. I think he'll finish behind Mahomes in the MVP race.
Probably going to the Super Bowl this year.
Lou's picking him to go to the Super Bowl. He's in the NFC title game. The Eagles are really good. They're playing at home. Hurts was definitely one of the guys I was the most wrong on. $2,550 for a PSA 10 Jalen Hurts rookie auto. Overpriced or underpriced?
Ty?
Underpriced.
Wow. I think so.
So the difference between Lamar and Hurts to me at the same price is Lamar has already accomplished some of the major things that would give you price increase, right? So, and I don't know what the future beholds. I don't think the relationship with the team, I know they just said they're going to come out and give him the big deal. Whereas Hurts, I think Philly as a sporting city, if you can be the guy, like if he delivers a Super Bowl, I think you're talking a real nice increase in a long career as a Philly quarterback, which I think is a great position from a hobby perspective. Just like no matter what, Dak Prescott can keep losing. People are going to want his stuff. Just how that goes. So that's Lamar's had a better career to date than Hurts, no doubt about it. But back to our collecting versus investing a little bit. I think Hurts at $2,550 is a bit underpriced based on what I think of the next 3 to 5 years from Hurts. And I think Lamar is overpriced based on what I think for the next 3 to 5 years of Lamar. Each year that goes by, that MVP is going to get further away.
I'm going to definitely be the minority in this because I have a feeling I know what Lou's going to say on this, but I'm going to say overrated. We say the next 3 to 5 years, right? We started this conversation earlier today when I talked about what's on my mind. One guy wins a Super Bowl. I'm not betting against Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes to lose to Jalen Hurts. I'm not betting on that. You hope his career is as good as Lamar Jackson. You hope he wins an MVP. They're good. I'm picking them to lose to the Niners. I think the Niners defense is really, really good. I don't love Brock Purdy talent-wise. He's obviously not Jalen Hurts. And I don't think Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. He's definitely a top 7 quarterback in the league. Like, he's good. I'm just not betting on Jalen Hurts to win a bunch of Super Bowls and have the same career trajectory as Patrick Mahomes, as Joe Burrow. Again, we talk about it. Cam Newton PSA 10s do $296. Most people would kill for that career. You got to play for a Super Bowl. You won an MVP and you won Rookie of the Year. And your PSA 10 Contenders does $300. Where is the he's got to win multiple rings to do that. I'm not betting on that. I'm not betting on the Eagles to win multiple Super Bowls. I sit here and be wrong, and he wins a title, and the Eagles are really good. They're really good. I'm not oblivious that the teams remaining are really, really good. These are, in my opinion, the best 4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily win the Super Bowl. I'm not picking them to win it, so I'm going to say he's overpriced.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
For the purposes of the game,
yeah,
Joe Burrow is $6,000
Yep.
for going to 1 Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is $2,550, 1 game away from going to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Pretty similar career paths, I would actually say.
No, but
Why not?
I mean, Joe.
I mean, if anything, I would say Hurts has been more successful from a stat standpoint.
No way. Joe Burrow won comeback player of the years, gone to multiple.
Jalen Hurts is going to be second in MVP voting.
Okay.
I mean, I actually have to look at the numbers, but I think Jalen Hurts.
What is Jalen Hurts' best career accomplishment? You're going to tell me right now it's second in MVP voting.
Yeah.
That's
and
okay.
he's about to go. I think he's
$2,500. $2,500
1
for
game away
second
from
MVP voting. That's what we're giving $2,500 for. Cam Newton did this, and this, and it's $300.
We had to stop using Cam Newton as the only example, but
Stafford,
I think
Stafford
fine.
won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, again, I'm just saying comparing for the
best
purposes
card,
of the,
best card in the last 90 days or the last year, the NT Auto did $1,800 for a 9.510. Jay said in the last 90 days on eBay, 9.510 did $1,800.
that's irrelevant. We're talking about for the purposes of this game, these players right here. I think if Jalen Hurts goes to the Super Bowl, you can have the exact same conversation about Jalen. Not the exact same, but a similar conversation about Jalen Hurts that you're going to have about Joe Burrow. In which case, that card is going up, which is why I would say it's underpriced.
That's fair. I don't think that's an unfair argument that if he goes to the Super Bowl and he's got that Super Bowl experience, that the conversation is different. I'm not picking them to win, right? So I'm not saying it couldn't be underpriced. If you're betting on the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl, yeah, you'd probably say it's underpriced. Absolutely. They're 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl and 2 wins away from winning the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. If you think those are going to happen, yeah, it's definitely underpriced. I don't think those are going to happen. I don't think they're beating the Niners, and I don't think they're beating the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't think those, I'm definitely thinking it's overpriced.
Fair enough. Let's see what happens. And then your guys last.
T-Law, $6,000 for a PSA 10. I think this is way skewed as there's only a pop 1. This definitely goes into the supply versus demand thing. These have a lot of issues with quality control. PSA 9s do $800. That's double raw price. Like they're not in super great shape. I have like 3 of these as base, and they would probably not grade 9s. They're not in great shape. So a 9 is even tricky. So I think the conversation of this one is a little tougher because it is only a pop 1, but I think my sentiment would be I would rather have multiple 9s of him than multiple other guys on that list at those prices.
Yeah, I think it's hard. He's the hardest one, I think, because
I would agree.
It can go in 2 very different directions.
Yeah, sure.
In the 2023 season, very hard to project. I'm going to say overpriced because the AFC is so difficult for the exact reasons we've been using with the other guys.
Yep, 100%.
I think it's probably safe to call that overpriced.
Yep, that's a fair statement. Is you've got to go through Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl, yet alone Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and Lamar and some of these other teams and some of these other guys. Like, the road to the Super Bowl is definitely tough. Fair statement for sure. I'm not picking them next year to beat the Bengals or the Chiefs again. Like, played okay. Like, they're good. I think they'll compete, but yeah, it's at $6,000. That's a lot for a team that's not going to be favored to go to the Super Bowl.
And you got CJ Stroud or Bryce Young coming into the conference next year. Those 2 guys, superstars.
Yo, CJ Stroud is not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Trash.
That's not an Ohio State shot. He's not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Remember when he was like talking about going back? What was that about?
He should have
that little weak period there.
Maybe he's being smart, firing up some media chatter.
I think Stroud will be good. I really do.
You do? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think Fields is going to be good too, though.
I think Fields is going to get hurt.
Fields just doesn't have. I mean, the Bears suck. The Bears just don't have it. Like, there's just no talent around him. I mean, can you name one receiver on the Bears outside of Darnell Mooney?
Aquinas St. Brown, Cole Kmet, David Montgomery.
He's a running back.
do we think Fields is going to be like a pocket passing quarterback?
No,
I think Fields
no.
is the most dangerous. I just worry about these running quarterbacks.
What about Danny Dimes?
What about Josh Allen? That guy runs around all the time.
Yeah, so does Patrick Mahomes. Look at Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes doesn't run around as much as those guys.
What's the difference in
Are you
height
kidding
and
me?
weight between Fields and Allen?
Oh, I mean,
And would we say Josh
Allen's
Allen
probably the top
has a much more electric
1%
arm?
of the league? He's top
and
3 in the league.
and then arm strength comparatively.
Yeah, but Josh Allen is like a freak physically. Like
I worry about it with Hurts too. Like I think that these guys are going to have trouble playing full seasons,
but they may not. You're right. It could. Vic played a lot of seasons. Like it's not impossible. I'm not saying if you ask me who are the odds highest on that they have an injury prone career, Justin Fields is definitely on the top, like near the top of that list. Absolutely. Like his athletic ability definitely puts him on the top of that list.
Yeah,
but
I want to put.
May not. He was. I mean, how many yards away was he, Jay, from breaking their all-time record from rushing yards in a season?
It could be Michael Vick. It could be possible.
He could be Vicksky. He doesn't have the big arm though, Vic.
He doesn't. Not yet.
Bro.
There's still. Wait, I want to put Ryan in his place because Ryan got really upset when I said that Patrick Mahomes doesn't run as much as those other two guys. Patrick Mahomes had 61 rushing yard attempts this year, and Josh Allen had 124, literally double.
Yeah, I mean, 60 times is still a lot.
It's half as much as the other guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying you're right. He definitely runs. Josh Allen runs more than Patrick Mahomes. Agreed. That's 7 attempts a game. It's a good amount of attempts. Or that's a good amount of he clearly rushes more than Mahomes, but I don't know.
All right, so do we have any other QBs? Or are we done?
No, a couple other ones for quick perspective. Deshaun Watson, PSA 10 does 1,100. Tua does 1,360. Mac Jones.
He was like shit at the end of the year, huh? When he came back?
Who?
Watson. Like, take all the other stuff out of it. That whole thing obviously is what it is. He didn't look very good from what I saw.
No. Jay says Mac Jones does $311. That seems low.
I can't imagine paying $311 for a Mac Jones card.
I'm not saying it's underpriced. I'm just surprised it's not more. I mean, remember how hot Mac Jones stuff was going into the season?
Where's Zach Wilson right now, Jay? Should be pretty high.
Ooh, under 200.
Pain, suffering.
140, and the Kirk Cousins is 263. Everybody's favorite Kirk Cousins.
Underpriced.
So, all right, let's get into play of the week.
Before we do that,
yeah.
Did you see 01 Tiger SP Authentic this past week? Auto out of 900 did 50K
for a 10.
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy is I have a 9. You know what a 9's worth? You know what I have in my 9?
What's that?
$9,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means it's 5 times, over 5 times as much for PSA 10.
Wow.
Pop on the 9s are 128. Pop on the 10s are 187.
So technically I have something more rare.
Very, very rare.
Rare.
All right, let's get into play of the week. We're running out of time. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Here we go. All right, so we've got Klee Card Collector 58.
The number one Duke Johnson collector.
He is an avid Duke Johnson collector.
Duke.
It says, play of the week submission. I went to a local show a few weeks back, really just to catch up with some friends. A younger collector I know walked up to me wanting to sell a few things. I bought 4 cards for $420 after losing a coin flip. I should stop agreeing to coin flips.
Coin flips.
One of the cards in the lot was a LaMelo Ball Blue Velocity Optic Rookie PSA 10. A minute later, a gentleman walked up and asked for a price on the LaMelo. Told him 110, and the last sold for 130. He reached into his bag and asked if I would take $60 cash in this card. It was a Brock Purdy Panini Black Auto. I laughed and said, sure. I assumed every comp on the Purdy was fake, but I listed it at the show for $1,000 or best offer. Within 15 minutes, it was bought outright.
Unbelievable.
I was shocked, immediately went home and shipped it out. Could you imagine trading a Brock Purdy auto?
Card shows are
LaMelo Blue Velocity 10. Sheesh.
I would say it'd be the number one thing I would be looking for at a show right now if I was
Brock Purdy
at a card show.
It's just funny that you say that when you said that the Eagles are going to win this weekend.
Yeah, but it's just probably the value to what you're going to sell it for is probably you can't find anything better.
You think after winning 8 straight games that people have no idea what Brock Purdy is?
That's not what I said.
I'm just curious. I'm curious to take though. How could you possibly on any earth say that the Eagles are going to win this weekend and say that you could find value in Brock Purdy at a show right now?
I mean, this is a couple weeks ago this guy did this.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying he walked into a show. He sold it the same day for several $1,000s. Or for $1,000.
A single thousand.
Yeah.
A single thousand.
I thought your statement is Brock Purdy's the guy I would be looking for at shows right now to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could find some like interesting like plays.
I would say Brock
that's not a
Purdy's
crazy
probably
take.
I'm just saying, if you think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl,
Brock
Purdy would be one of the worst guys in the world to buy then. You don't think Brock Purdy stuff will dip post-loss, assuming he loses?
Sure.
Still might be a play. This is a great play. Brock Purdy is a great unknown, which I do think because of that, there is some potential action. No one knows. Nobody knows. No one knows whether this dude is being real or not being real. No one knows why you can put any quarterback on the 49ers and they still win. No one knows if he's going to go be the starter for wherever Andy Dalton played 10 games this year.
New Orleans?
Yeah, I mean, this guy Brock Purdy might be in the mix. It's a thing. Some dude walked up to someone at a show and said, "Hey, man, here's a car. You want this in $50 worth of trade value?" And he flipped it for $1,000. When people don't have info, when people don't know things, there's opportunity to attack. Only to those that are willing to take risks. And this dude took the risk, believing that the comps were fake, could have took an L on it. Those that try to only find, okay, well, there's 17 comps, and I know exactly what the price is, and everyone's buying instead of trailing these things. There's only so many margins in that.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy is a land untapped right now. You might get cooked. You might get burned because the dude might lose this weekend and never play a meaningful snap of football again in his life. Fair. But the guy might actually be a really good quarterback.
You're not wrong.
He might sign a 3-year deal with the 49ers, and he might play in 3 straight conference championship games. And if you believe that to be the case, I do think Brock Purdy is a great play for you right now.
Yeah, agreed. Next one, Jay.
Oh, love it.
Penthouse Cards. So what's going on, guys? Mike here again from Maine with my second play of the week submission. So back in June, I was at my LCS and I traded for a World Championship Mew Gold Star. Not many of the World Championship cards are worth much, but this one is a crowd favorite. Looks super clean, and I felt like it was undervalued for $75. I sent it in grading at PSA in bulk submission, and it came back a Gemmy. Not many cards have sold, or not many have sold, so I was unsure how to list it. A PSA 9 did $650 to $750, so I listed mine at $1,500 to feel out the market. I ended up selling the card for $1,100. This is a bittersweet moment since I found the card in the wild. I'm happy to move on from this card and use the money to continue buying raw and grading cards for my PC. Thanks, guys. Jeez.
Smart. I like the way they did the pricing too. I was gonna say you can get yourself caught if I thought he listed that for $1,100 and it got scooped up quick. I was gonna say that's too low, but $1,500 is the right pricing, I think.
Mew is a legendary character.
Legendary.
The gold stars.
I would say the most underrated Pokemon character. Just want to put that out there as a thought.
Mew and Mewtwo. You know, they're like those
OG movie star.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie, the Mewtwo from the movie. I mean, Ash Ketchum in early retirement, like, kind of shook up and shocked the world. There might be a couple Ash plays to make.
Shook up and shocked the world.
Like,
they did retire him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ash did pull an Andrew Luck. I didn't think about that.
Prime of his career, man.
Out here.
Guy just couldn't stop conquering gyms.
Yeah. I'm out here. They ain't trying to give me a contract. I'm taking too much damage.
He did the Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah.
He's doing Pokemon boxing in 3 years?
Switched it up, guys. Ash is about to become a rapper.
Damn.
Shut it down.
I do love this player, though. I'll say that.
Me too.
Jay, what's next? Oh, wow. This is from Aiden Squin. It says, "Hey, boys, longtime listener, first-time play submitter, but I think I have a good one for y'all. Taking after Ryan's consistent advice on the potential returns of dollar box plays, I've become a frequent attendee of local shows where I've come to love the hunt of the bargains. A few weeks back while at a local show, I noticed a vendor setting up with his table with a number of unorganized looking multi-row value boxes and even a few shoe boxes stuffed with cards. I approached the table excitedly, greeting the vendor and asking a few basic questions regarding his table. He informed me just the other day he had purchased this entire collection from a yard sale and had not yet a chance to organize the lot. Hearing this, my interest in the table instantly grew. I spent about an hour digging through multiple boxes, pulling out a number of steals, including an assortment of big-name rookies. However, the big find came unexpectedly. While sorting through a messy shoebox of cards, I shuffled quickly past a glimmer of red, but something caught my eye. I paused and to my excitement and surprise noted 3 small letters, precious metal gems. Flipping the card over quickly, I noted 35 out of 100. I had in my hands a 1997 Rod Strickland PMG, no penny sleeve or top loader. Not knowing the exact value, but knowing the prestige of the PMG name, I knew this was a treasure. I added it to my stack of about 60 cards and presented them to the dealer, who offered me a price of $40, which I happily accepted. After doing a bit of research on eBay completed sales, I, to my amazement, saw recent comps on the card in slightly better condition in the range of $1,250 to $1,500. I took some photos and quickly listed the card on eBay. Attained a bunch of lowball offers, but held out and ultimately accepted an offer of $940. Not a bad return for the card I paid less than $1 for. See photos attached for the eBay sale and images. Love the show, boys. Appreciate the knowledge you guys consistently share. PMGs, man. I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of like playing like a draw 4 in Uno. It just like dominate.
It's a money printing machine. It's unreal.
Yeah. I've never found
nailed PMGs.
I've never found a PMG in the wild. I mean, like this. Found a Skybox Star Ruby once. That's cool. Like a PMG in a $1 box or like at $1, man, that's crazy.
Rod, can you explain to me how it's possible that the dealer let this go for under? Like, aren't you looking, even when someone walks up to you with a stack of cards, right? Don't you look at the stack?
Yeah, you look at the stack. You just.
But then how do you not see that red like that?
Rod Strickland.
But it's a PMG.
You don't know it's a PMG. How do you know that?
It says it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it says it on there. Yeah, I don't know. Flip through them quickly. Don't understand what PMGs are now. Like, I mean, in all
great
fairness,
job by Aiden.
In all fairness, you sit up at a show and you said very quickly, everything was unorganized. You don't have any organization. You probably don't keep up with the market on an every day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like this is a side gig. You're hoping to do $100, $150 and a free table in the weekend, have some extra spending cash in the week. It's a side hobby for a lot of people. Not everybody knows this. Like that if that Mew championship card walked into my shop and said, "Hey man, this PS10 for $500, you want it?" I'm like, I would have no, that's insane. I have no idea what that card is. I don't know that. I know football really well. I know I would know a PMG to buy, but I don't know what a 1952 Topps like SP or one of the high numbers. I wouldn't know that as well. Like there's so many cards. They've been doing this for 75 years. Like it's hard to know it all.
We also don't know what the original person paid for it at a yard sale. Like my gut says they picked up the whole thing for $5 and
is stoked getting 40.
And they just got 40 for like a couple of them. You know?
I hope that's the next play.
Yeah,
got this at a yard sale for $40 to this one kid. Sick. I'd probably pick that play.
So that's a factor. And yeah, it's just, again, knowledge gap. You can't know everything about everything. I'm sitting here. We haven't talked really in depth about basketball on this show in many, many, many weeks. The Sacramento Kings are currently in the 3 spot in the West.
I definitely didn't know that.
You did know that?
No, I did not know that.
Oh.
I don't give up the NBA at all.
The Sacramento Kings are a top team in the West right now.
Side note, I got to say, I understand that they've been doing cards longer than 75 years. I was just talking about Topps. It's been around since like 52. I'm going to get smoked. Like, Ryan, didn't you know they made cards in the 80s?
1887.
They had cigarette cards and tobacco cards. They had all those back in. Yeah, I'm aware. I wasn't collecting then. I'm talking about Topps. What was it, 52 Topps? Like, I get it. I'm sorry. Please, like, I'd be like, this guy's an idiot. Doesn't know.
Idiot.
Like, sorry.
Aiden, appreciate you.
Good play, Aiden. That's all time. All right, NF Cards 12. It says, "Hi, I saw the Mysterious Slate lot on Mercari a few months back. I was looking for something to buy since I had a $20 coupon. It had 3 cards, a gold vinyl out of 5, veteran, a flawless collegiate patch auto at a 20, and a cheap patch card. Being a Giants fan, I really liked the lot. My total was about $50. I knew it would take time, but was confident in the uniqueness I then sold the Giants limited patch card for $5. I listed the other two a couple months ago and finally sold the gold vinyl for $60, bringing the flawless patch and finally sold the gold vinyl for $60 and the flawless patch for $65, bringing my total profit after fees to $63. Not the craziest profit, but was happy to make money off of searching through for something to use my coupon on. That's still pretty good.
Fresh.
$60 for a gold vinyl out of 5 non-rookie of Darius Slayton. That's a
Darius
play,
Slayton
man.
Doesn't get much more random than Darius Slayton. All due respect, Darius Slayton.
Listen,
I love this because one of the things. Sorry, Ty, to interrupt you.
You're good.
One of the things I love about this is I think an underrated play in cards where you can really do well in value boxes is cool patch autos in college uniform. This Darius Slayton is definitely in a $10 box or less somewhere at a show this weekend. For sure. I couldn't be more sure. There's a Darius Slayton patch auto that looks like that in a value box for $5 or $10. And somebody out there is definitely looking for a Darius Slayton Auburn patch auto they want for their PC. Like if a Austin Mack patch auto, right? He's a old Giants wide receiver. If a patch auto in Ohio State uniform was in a value box for $5 or $10, it was a cool Ohio State patch, I'd buy it for sure. Right? Iowa Hawkeyes, same way, USC, Texas, like college football, man, that's fanatics. That's real crazy fandom stuff. We talk about it all the time. That to me is a play. Like nobody's on here like, oh man, Darius Slayton, $65. Like I can't wait to buy that. The college patch out, I think, adds real. It makes the play what it is. I think that's what's cool.
It's funny you say that because I was literally going to say that's a really, really nice patch. And I catch myself saying that about these patches all the time. And the card's always like $20.
Yeah.
The Giants also had a nice little run and like unexpected run. So people's emotions were high and they made a couple key plays.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Someone goes online and boom.
Yep. Fair point. Good play.
Great play.
Jay, is there one more? Nope, that's it. Only 4 this week. It's a pretty good week.
Plays, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go with the PMG and the value boxes. The value boxes are a play. To me, that's OG. I'm all about this. I'm going with the PMG.
I will say I'm blown away at that PMG selling at that price in the condition that it's in.
Yeah, that bottom left looks.
I mean, the whole left edge is cooked.
Yeah. Look at the right edge. I mean, the right edge.
Yeah, they're all bad. It's all bad. It's a great job, Aiden. I guess Aiden's probably a safe winner. Shout out, Aiden.
Go start at the top real quick.
Brock Purdy in trade.
Yeah.
Pokemon Mew.
Yeah, by the way, I really feel like you jumped on me for the Brock thing. Like, the way you jumped on me for Brock, but then said, like, PMGs, people don't know the value of PMGs, is like, why do you assume everyone's
My argument is not about – my argument is that if you believe Brock Purdy's going to lose, I think Brock Purdy is going to have more cards. Brock Purdy's going to have more cards come out by the time he ever plays a game again if he loses this weekend. I think his stuff is going to be at peak value, right? As soon as Brock Purdy loses a game, if he loses, it's down. His stuff's going to dip 30%. So buying it now would be at the peak price. I don't know why. That's my only argument is I don't know why I would buy it now.
Fine.
No, I mean, do you differ?
I do. You're missing my point, but it doesn't matter. He got it in trade for a LaMelo Ball blue velocity.
1,000%. I would take it in trade at $50. Okay,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's great. Your point that I took was, hey, Brock Purdy's a guy to go out and look for at shows this weekend.
I'd be looking around for a Brock. Is that crazy to look around for a Brock Purdy?
I would always look for them. 1,000%.
Get so semantic-y with the word.
I'm aligned with you on I'll look for them. 1,000%. Everybody would look for them. I'm saying I would not look to acquire them at peak pricing right now.
Agree.
If you expect them to lose, that was my only statement. I think it's the worst time in the world to buy Brock Purdy if you think Brock Purdy will lose.
Unless, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, if they win, oh gosh, you could be getting a deal.
Yeah, like low key, I think if they win this week, it might be even crazier next week. We're going to be talking about. We're going to be seeing 5,000.
Brock Purdy is in the Super Bowl as Mystery Relevant. 1,000%.
We'll be seeing $5,000 sales.
1,000%. There's a mosaic black gold 9/5/10 Brock Purdy rookie auto over $10,000 with days left.
What do you do? Like, I shouldn't say that, but like, what?
Watch him win the Super Bowl. Watch him win the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Right in my mouth. That's fine.
He may. He really may.
All right, Ty, which one are you picking?
Be buying Kyle Shanahan cards in that case.
PMG.
Yeah.
PMG is the play.
Yeah.
Of the week.
Yeah. Heck of a play. Let me pull up the latest launch because we got some good ones this week.
Do you want to talk about my Travis Kelce thought or no?
Yeah, you do that while I'll pull this up.
Right before the show started, we were talking, and I was just chit-chatting with the boys, just thinking about things, just thinking about opinions, and said out loud, I think Travis Kelce might be the best tight end of all time, and maybe something to look at for his cards in the future. And I was immediately shut down by Ryan and Tyler, honestly, for the Gronk thing, for the Gronk side of the argument, which is fair. But I think if you look at the statistics of both players in their careers, you would see Travis Kelce's been a superior player. Gronk has the rings. And then you can argue chicken or the egg of who's more responsible for those rings, Tom Brady or Rob Gronkowski. I would say Tom Brady, but it sounds like you guys might say differently. And just wanted to put that out there for people. So then what's your argument for Gronk other than rings?
It just did it long. Like if Kelce plays,
he didn't do it longer. That's not true.
What do you mean he didn't do it longer?
Total career, I think Travis Kelce's in the league for 10 years and Gronk's in the league he had 11-year career.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a crazy debate. I'm not saying it's the craziest thing of all time.
Okay.
It's not like
thank you
wild. Like Kelce,
you reacted like it was wild.
I don't think it's there yet. I don't.
Okay.
So I don't think it's there yet. I'm still taking Rob Gronkowski at the moment.
Okay.
And again, I can't say like Ozzie Newsome, like some of those other like all-time guys. I didn't watch them play. Like
wait, Ty's gonna get upset.
I mean, my man Gronk was different, bro.
Yeah,
my man was putting up 165-yard performances with a arm dangling
Ty, that's
off
the thing to me is Gronk. You couldn't guard.
Kelce has 1,000 more yards than he does.
You couldn't guard Gronk though. Gronk was unguardable. It was like the Holland argument we made earlier. You just hoped you could contain it. You knew it was going to happen.
They played the exact same amount of games, and Gronk has 1,000 more yards.
Kelce may have been, and
Kelce
may be at this point a better week in and week out
200 more receptions.
tight end
and more reliable.
Gronk is arguably the best big game player, like across most sports. I mean, he just performed when it mattered. Gronk ran through 3 dudes, made a catch that made no sense.
Kelce can do that too.
Yeah, Kelce's great. Like my argument is not that Travis Kelce's bad.
Weekend.
Travis Kelce is really good.
He had a big weekend.
He's good. He had like 14 catches.
And he's pretty cool. He's drippy too.
Yeah, he's good. Like I don't have a bad thing to say about Travis Kelce.
Sounds like you hate Travis Kelce. Trip too hard. You're right, Courtney.
I think Gronk is the current living best tight end.
Agreed.
Fair enough. Right
now,
what about Tony Gonzalez, legend?
I was literally about to say Tony Gonzo, who used to dunk on the
he's a legend
thing, and like he was a basketball player. You remember when they used to be able to dunk on the field goal thing?
They're not allowed to do that anymore?
No.
That's stupid. You could do like the gritty for 4 hours.
I know.
Dunk for 10
Give
seconds.
me a quick
coming
over the middle.
Let's get into some of the latest launches. One I'm looking forward to, Illusions football. 5 hits per box, 3 autos, 2 jerseys. You got Mosaic basketball, one of the last products of the year for 21-22. Only 6 months into the next season, but that's neither here nor there. Artifacts hockey, True Creator Holiday Jumbo Edition.
What is that?
I don't know. Lou Janu got autos in there?
No. What is that? What is it called? True what?
Yeah, True Creator. So it's TRU Creator Holiday Jumbo Edition.
Interesting.
I'm trying to look it up. Influencers.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a pack of influencer cards? Who's putting it out?
No, it's actually influencers. Yes. It's
who's
True
making
Creator's the product.
Who's the producer?
God, there's some guys in here.
Who's the publisher?
The company is literally called True Creator. That's literally what it says all over.
All right, can I get a link?
Aiden Ross Auto?
An Aiden Ross Auto? It'll do better than Stump Autos.
It's $15 for that? I don't know.
$15?
Is my guy Castro in there?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Castro. Destroying's in here, though. There's some...
No idea.
Some names that matter? The D'Amelio flex?
I don't know about that.
Mr. Beast and his burgers? Is there Gary Vee?
Those are the only... Who? Those are the only 2 releases this week, right?
I mean, Mosaic basketball, Artifacts hockey, and Illusions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only heard Illusions football and True Creator. I just completely blanked out.
Mosaic basketball. Yeah, because I said Mosaic. I mean, that's the disappointing part, right? Like, I don't know. I have no idea where where this is at, like in terms of like where the delay comes from. But Mosaic basketball, I mean, how far are we from the All-Star break in the next season? That's rookie cards of like 21, 22 guys. So that's
who's coming. Like I don't even know who's coming.
That's Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley. You're just getting their Mosaic basketball.
Giddy?
Yeah, that's that class.
We're just getting to Giddy's Mosaic.
Yes.
That's tough.
We haven't even got flawless.
Yikes.
Yeah. There's 3 products out on the market for this year's basketball class with Chet, Paolo Banchero. There's only 3 products. There's Chronicles draft picks, Immaculate Collegiate, what was an online exclusive, and Hoops basketball. You only have 3 products.
Did you see the Bowman University college football?
Yeah, it's cool. Caleb
logos.
Williams.
It's all Chrome based now, and they're adding the logos of the teams. A little Fanatics.
It's all Chrome based?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Right. Does the logo mean a lot to you?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. The logo.
Honestly,
college football fan, for sure, for me.
It definitely, I don't know, like Leaf makes some really cool stuff as a college guy. Like I love some, like Leaf's got some cool patch autos from like Trinity and stuff. Like the price differences, especially like I can buy Leaf Trinity patch autos of guys for a fifth of the price from a Panini Immaculate product. And it doesn't make that much of a difference to me for 5x the price. I'm not saying I don't want I would rather have like a base non-logo auto from any random product, right? Like Leaf or some other one, like a base auto versus a Bowman Chrome Red, but like a patch auto, like to me, it doesn't. I'm not saying I don't prefer the Panini one. I'm not saying I don't prefer the logo. I'm definitely not naive there, but like to say, I won't buy an Ohio State logo 101 patch auto because it doesn't have a logo on the jersey. No.
But it helps the value.
Agreed. Yeah. 1,000%. But it's just one of those things. It's like such an anomaly. Like it's like the Piazza 10 Tiger. Like I would rather have the Tiger 9 and save $40,000 than have the 10. Like I'm just like, everybody's different. I'm not here to argue right or wrong. I'm just for $40,000 and one less letter grade, I'll take the 9.
Fair enough.
Fair. Good show.
Great show.
Appreciate you tuning in. Holla.
Like and subscribe. All that good stuff.
Next week, we'll have somebody else on for What's on Your Mind. If you want to be on one of those in the future, make sure you check us out anywhere you can find Card Talk. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast. We've got a Facebook page, IG, Twitter, TikTok, whole 9 yards. More IG lives coming soon too.
Yes. Bringing them back.
That's all I got for now, guys. Peace.
See you, gang.
Peace and love.
Peace.